All right. Yes, my people. So we're back again. I was actually online on YouTube. Not even really browsing, just jumped on YouTube as I normally do and come across Wallo. Heard the name many and many a times. I know he done a long, long time in jail, and he's out here inspiring people. So yeah, I like the title. Stop wasting your life. Started watching it. Couple gems in there. So yeah, man, let's just get into it, man. You're gonna find out as much as about him as I'm about to find out as much about him. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's do this, man.
In 1998, me and my step-pop were cellmates. And in 2005, me and my brother were cellmates in the same prison, generational incarceration. So now I'm like, hold up, don't nobody got no independent thought no more. So I'm like, oh, there's more people out there in prison. It's gonna be easy out there. There's more people incarcerated than it is incarcerated because everybody out there walking around with a cell around their brain.
And how would you describe that to somebody who doesn't realize that they're in a cell in their brain?
They're afraid. The reason I say they're in a cell because they're afraid to go out there and do what they want to do. I wasn't enraged, I was hurt. And the reason that I was hurt, because the truth hurt. I just looked in the mirror and I said, damn, you ain't.
Yeah, already. Gem. Yeah, a lot of us are stuck in our own heads, stuck in the cell inside our own head. You know what I mean? Afraid to move, afraid to progress, afraid of criticism. A lot of it is criticism, you know. Like we're frightened of what other people are gonna say, you know. I say that because before I made that decision to jump online and do this thing, I felt the same way. I thought, what are people gonna think, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the whole of your business out there like that, but boy, you know what? It's the way of the world now, man. You know, you can choose to be private and quiet and, you know what I mean, stay inside your head, or you can come out and make something of yourself. You know what I mean? Not to say that you can't make something of yourself behind closed doors. You can by being quiet, but a lot of people are just putting themselves out there right about now. You know, I keep going over the same point because I think it's wild. Yeah, that's the only way to describe it. It's just wild what's actually going on right now, you know? And anybody can be a part of it, but you have to lose that feeling of being trapped inside your own head and forget about what people have to say.
Here doing all this time for being somebody you're not. I'm gonna get out one day and tomorrow's gonna be better than yesterday. I'm gonna make the best of this.
Talk to me about forgiveness. How did you forgive the person who killed your brother?
For me personally, forgiveness helped me breathe.
Did you ever tell the person that killed your brother that you forgive him?
No, he out there, he know.
Do you want to tell him?
Look, I forgive you, man.
I got to tell you something. When Wallo starts going, you better keep your hand on the recording dial because holy cow, it's like part sermon, part halftime coach. Your team is down. The coach is mad. He's yelling at you and he's telling you the truth. And this is the truth you need to hear. Because the fact is,
I'm guessing that Wallo was probably a part of that. He was about that life, you know? And by the looks of it, he's made a transition, done a 180, turned his back on his old life. Now my question is, what do you think it takes for someone to completely change their life? What does it take? Is it discipline, mindset? What is it? That's a question for you guys. Have a think.
You're the one in your own way. And so I don't want to be hearing from you, I don't like you in your case, because this is a conversation for adults. And sometimes adults need to hear words that are a little harsh, because that's what it's going to take for you to wake up. All right? I've warned you. And here's another warning. Don't even bother listening to this if you don't want to hear the truth. Don't listen to this if you're not interested in motivation. You still here? Good. So am I. Let's go. So without further ado, please help me welcome the remarkable Wallo to the Mel Robbins podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for jumping on a plane. I have been a huge fan of yours for a long time. I am so excited to be in the room with you. I'm excited for the person who has made the time to be here with us, to be able to be inspired by and learn from you. And I can't wait to dig into your story, but I wanted to start by asking you this.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about everything that you're about to share, from your life story, from your experience, from the impact that you're making with millions of people, what do you think is going to change about my life if I take everything to heart and I apply it to the way that I live my life moving forward? What's going to change?
You're going to stop caring about things that don't matter, and you're going to stop making problems for yourself. That's the most important thing. Stop making problems for yourself. Nobody make problems for us. We make problems for ourselves. If you don't like me, right? Or if I'm talking to the viewer, if somebody don't like you, that's none of your business, number one. Number two, what they say about you, that's none of your business. That's their business. They own them thoughts. They own everything that they say. They got ownership of that. But what we do is we make problems when we get into their business. You minding their business now. Oh, I don't like Mel. Mel is not this. Mel fake. She don't really help nobody. Mel, why are you worrying about their business, Mel? Mind your business. That's not yours. That belong to them. The thoughts belong to them. Stop giving power to other people, words, ideas, thoughts, feelings. Why do they like, a lot of times, Mel, a lot of people don't dislike you. They don't even hate you. Some people just want to hug you, and they don't know how to get your attention.
Why do we give people so much power to get into our thoughts, to get into our brains? Why do we do that? I think he's right what he's saying. You know, if somebody has an opinion of you, what does it really have to do with you? Really and truly, I don't think it's got anything to do with you. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? As long as they're not bringing no drama to you, just leave people to their thoughts, man. You know what I mean? Crack on.
So that's what it really be about. And some people just like, hey, Mel got it going on. How can I get close to Mel? I DM Mel 1,000 times. Mel don't even answer her DM. She ain't got time for that. She running the, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
But I think if you got to really be able to cut on that fuck it button.
The fuck it bucket.
The fucking button. The fuck it button. We fuck it. Like, fuck what they think. Like, as long as you living in that world of area, you're not going to live. Listen, I look at this like this. You, guess what? If nobody told you, you're going to die. But guess what? Caskets don't have no bunk beds. It's going to be you by yourself. Why you worrying about everybody else?
Wait, did you just say caskets don't have bunk beds?
Yeah, they ain't got no bunk beds. Ain't no bunk beds in caskets. What you wearing? You got to go by yourself. When it's time to leave this place, you're going to be, when the music is playing, it's just going to be you. It's not about nobody else. Like, we got to get out of here. Mel, do you know one day they're going to be reading your book, they're going to be reading my book, and they're going to be like, yo, they're going to be looking at old videos of us. We're going to be well off and gone. That's why you here, and I tell people, the moves I make is secure the futures of the family members I won't be living to meet. The moves I make will secure the futures of the family members I won't be living to meet. That's all I'm here for. I'm just here to work for some people that I'm never going to meet. You too. You too. You're just here to strengthen your last name up. So it's like, listen, we got to go, Mel. We're going to, listen, we're going to the party, Mel. You see that party that be going on in the graveyard? We're going to be there.
Well, let me ask you a question. Why are you motivated by making a better future for the relatives you haven't even met yet?
Because that's our job.
Why is it your job?
Because everybody, listen, the reality is everybody's just not going to be Mel and Wallo. Everybody in our bloodline is not going to be like us. Some people just gonna want to just get up every day and just get a regular job. It's not everybody's job to push, encourage, want more for other people. That's just not it. So why?
I believe that's me, you know. I believe I'm that guy, man. Because in my family, I can't say that there's anybody that's, you know, like really doing their thing. Like there's no real strivers. I feel like everyone's just regular 9-to-5ers, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like there's anybody that's trying to go that extra mile, trying to create that generational wealth, you know? And I feel like that's the mission that I'm on. I've always had the idea of my name in lights from early. It's really weird. From I was a kid, I had this thought of my name always being in lights, and I carry that until this day, man. You know, yeah, something big is waiting, and you need to get yourself right to be able to accept it, or to be able to accept it into your life. You know what I mean? I don't think I was ready for what's coming. And I say that like it's destined, because I know it is. It's weird. It's a weird feeling, man. If you know, you know.
We here, why not take on the responsibility to say, you know what, there's gonna be some people that I'm not gonna meet that's gonna have my bloodline that I want to look out for.
Are you motivated by that because your family didn't look out for you?
No, it wasn't about that. My family always looked out for me even when they couldn't look out for me. See, back in the day, we didn't have nothing, but we had everything because we had each other. That was the community that I come from.
Yeah.
My thing is like this, Mel. You got to understand this.
Yep.
You got money, Mel.
I do now.
You can't spend it all. Somebody going to take that money when you get up out of here. Somebody going to run through some money of yours. They're going to run through it so quick. They're going to do so many things to that money. So it's like, why not do things to help people when you're out of here?
That's true.
Because you can't take it all with you.
No, I've never seen a hearse pulling a U-Haul.
No. I never seen a bank teller in the graveyard either. You don't see no bank tellers in the graveyard. I never seen Chase. Out of every funeral I went to, I never seen Chase in the graveyard. I never seen PNC. I never seen Bank of America, Wells Fargo. None of that shit's there. So it's like, only thing you see is the dash. The most important part of the graveyard is the dash that's on tombstone, and you trying to figure out what did they do? What was a part of that?
What do you want on your tombstone?
I just, listen. My tombstone, I don't want speakers on there. I want the music to be playing, because I'm going to be dancing, because I left it all up here. I'm not going to be crying. I'm not going to be complaining in the grave. Every time I go to the graveyard, you be hearing people. A lot of people, some side you see they be music playing, they happy. Some side, they be crying because they ain't do what they wanted to do, and they left it up here.
So true. So true. You're 46?
Yeah, I'm 46.
So I read that you spent more than half of those 46 years either in juvie or in prison.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. What happened?
So what happened is, grew up, great family. Rest in peace to my brother Steve, my mom, Jackie, extraordinary woman. You know, that's where I got a lot of my crazy stuff from. My grandma, I'm loving, strong woman, the strongest person I know. My brother Jalal. I grew up, my pop, Wallace Roundtree, my step-pop, Hip. I had some great people around me growing up, great family, different sides. My grandma, Aura, rest in peace. Grew up in the streets of Philadelphia, inner cities of America. I wanted to be down. And because when I grew up, and where I grew up at in the ghetto, the only person that got the...
See, that is a lot of what's going on now. That is a lot of what's going on now. Those few words that he said, like, I just want to be down. And I think he touches on it later on in the episode, where a lot of us, we are products of our environment. We end up being people that we weren't necessarily meant to be. But because of where you're from, or the company that you keep, you end up being that person that you was never meant to be, just because you want to be down, or just because of, you know, what you were brought up around. You know what I mean? It's not everybody that's born in the hood is supposed to be a shutter. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody that's in the hood is supposed to be a criminal. but a majority of the time, that's the path that we end up going down, you know. I believe that for myself. I don't believe I was supposed to. That wasn't my path. It's just I was a product of my environment, you know. And when you're 14, 15, you're very impressionable. Do you know what I'm saying? The people around you are doing things that look cool, and it ain't. It ain't.
Most attention was the person that was stealing the American dream, the drug dealer, or the criminal. Because he had the fancy cars, he had the jewelry. He dealt with the most beautifulest woman in the neighborhood. So it's like the movie. So as me sitting on the step as a kid, when I see the car pull up, the nice music blasting out, the Mercedes-Benz, the jewelry, and I'm like, I'm sitting there, Mel, and I'm like, hold up, you mean to tell me? I noticed Miss Johnson, Miss Brown, and Miss Green, the older ladies, they spoke to that guy getting out of the Benz. They ain't speak to Mr. Carl walking down the street that's a plumber. I said, I gotta go out there and steal the American dream. That's the only people, like, America only respect the successful criminals. They love them. That's why so many movies made about them. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, I gotta be down. I was smart enough to know right from wrong. My grandma, she taught me a lot. But I got into the crime life because I wanted things that I wasn't willing to work for because I'm a kid. June 30th, 1990, I get arrested for armed robbery.
One thing that you can, you always hear, a black male mention, one person that they always mention their grandmother, man. Always. Like, my grandmother was a big influence in my life. I spent many years living with her. And you know what's dark? She actually passed while I was in jail, and I didn't even get to go to her funeral, man. That was painful, man. I don't think I've even grieved for that one day properly, to be fair.
Philadelphia, and I never forget when Nanny came in. Shout out to Nanny. She's 91 now. She's like 91, but she moved around like she 31. She sent my Uncle Tommy to come get me. The next week I got locked up again for armed robbery. I kept getting locked up, so I wound up spending 5 years in juvenile. June 30th, 1990, I was 11 for like 7 days, something like that. I wound up, kept going back. They sentenced me that year to a year, and I wound up spending 5 years in juvenile.
Okay.
In and out. So by the time I turned 17, I got locked up for 2 armed robberies, 2 firearm violations. Got sentenced to a total of 19 and a half to 52 years in prison. They certified me as an adult. They said, no, you're not a kid no more. You're good with crime. You know how to do crime.
How mad were your grandmothers and your mom at you? Because you just kept getting in.
What kind of sentence is that? 19 to 52 years. Hey, America's mad, you know. I'm telling you, man. 19 to 52 years. Like, where's the in-between? Where is the in-between? Oh, man.
They was mad at me.
Because I can tell, I can just feel their energy right now. They were just like, come on.
They was mad, and my grandma used to always say, you gonna get it. You gonna realize one day. Because you know what's crazy? Your grandma older, you saying to yourself, she don't know what's going on out here, but she do.
Of course she does.
She always tell me, you don't understand, baby, why you the only one that always go to jail. You always go to jail. And I remember one of my homeboys, his mom was saying, y'all can't do wrong. Y'all need to start doing right. It didn't hit me till later on in life when I was sitting in prison doing time. And
what does that mean?
What you mean?
What you're all doing wrong. You got to start doing right.
Basically, y'all don't know how to be criminals.
Oh, because you keep getting arrested.
Yeah, y'all can't do wrong. I mean, y'all can't do wrong right. You might as well do right. Basically. So it was like, y'all can't even do wrong. Y'all don't even know how to do wrong. You know what I mean? So it was like, y'all really not good criminals. You always get caught. Most criminals do, so we really not that good. So it was like, you know, and you don't think about that. But being you wasn't cool. See, what's the name had a song out back in the day, but we heard it, we might have danced to it, but it wasn't that cool. It was a nice song. You probably hear it on the TV.
You know, I think going back to what he says about not being a good criminal. You see, for me, where I am now, after going to jail and coming out, I said to myself the other day, I was like, I wish that I had just got caught earlier. Honestly, when I say got caught earlier and done a sentence, because this sentence that I just did, my first sentence, by the way, I haven't done a sentence before. I got remanded back when I was like 19, like 20 years ago. Do you know what I'm saying? But this was actually my first sentence. But I said to myself, you know what? I wish I got caught earlier, because that little bird there has deterred me so much that I'd love to be able to see where I'd be right now if I went to jail earlier. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, things would be very different right about now, because I know myself. The way I felt during this bird, I cannot, there can be no repeat of this. This is madness. What, 20 months? Waste of my life? Nah, and I got kids out. You're mad. I don't know how people do the back and forth thing. I really don't get it. Especially like if you're back and forth, you are no good at being a criminal. Forget about it, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's over, buddy.
Right here on the radio, Huey Newton in the news had a song, it's hip to be square. But you don't think about that. You're not thinking about that. It's being outweighed by all the other music that you're hearing. When Revenge of the Nerds come out, you don't even understand about today. You don't know technology gonna come. So everything was based on being cool,
Right.
dangerous. Mel, let's be honest, Mel. You was in school. Y'all didn't want the nerds. Y'all wanted the cool guys.
Of course.
Y'all wanted the jocks. Y'all wanted the guy to come with his collar. Y'all wanted the Fonz. You didn't want that. Nobody want that. Nobody want the good guy. Everybody loved the bad guy. They love Scarface. They love Al Pacino. You gotta think about that. America loved the successful criminal. They love the bad guy. So think about it. When you talk about institutions, when you talk about juvenile facilities, prisons is a business. And I need to ask you out there, to everybody that understand about businesses, what business do you know that don't what they come?
That is actually wild, where prison is a business. And I only found that out not long ago, the last 4 or 5 years, I realized that prisons are actually business, and private companies are building them. I thought that all prisons were government run. That's what I actually thought. But they're not, and it's mad how people are making money off of prisoners. Like, incarcerating people are making money off of it. I know it's mad. In America, it's crazy over there because the population, so it is very big business in America. But yeah, it's a thing. I couldn't believe it.
Customers to come back. What businesses do you know that don't want reoccurring customers? So if I change it up, you're never going to be my customer no more. So how do I make money? So now the counselors is out. The psychs that work at the place is out. Probation officers is out. Just imagine if we fix this system and everything is fixed. No parole officers, no probation officers. We don't need a court clerks. We don't need stenographers in the court. We don't need a lot of judges. We don't need a district attorney. We don't need a lot of these people. So I didn't understand that until later on. So then when I get sentenced and it's time for me to go to prison, I was scared to death. I was scared to death. I get sentenced. I get up to the big house. There's a big wall. It's called Greatesville Prison. They open that gate. The gate closed behind us. I'm shackled up. I got shackles running from a belt around my waist. The shackles right here. I'm cuffed, and it's going to my feet, to my chains on my feet. The main thing that I'm thinking about when I go to prison, I'm looking at the TV and you see all this stuff, but you never think it's going to be you. Nobody think it's going to be their turn to go into prison when they're part of the life of crime. Everybody think they smarter than the system. So it was just crazy for me. They give us our box, we get our stuff, we had to walk up and we had to.
True. You know that it's a possibility, but you do think that you're smarter than the law. And you know what? A man once said to me, as a criminal, you got to get it right every single day. You got to get it right every day. They only have to get it right one day. Do you know what I'm saying? So you got to be right 99% of the time, or 100% of the time. They only need to be right that 1%. And that 1% is your life, mate. That's you off-road, birded. And then what is it for them? On to the next one, you know?
Go through the general population where the big yard was at to get to the hole in death row and where they had you locked in because we was juveniles. As we walked through that hallway, I seen some of the biggest muscular human beings I ever seen in my life. I couldn't believe it.
Can you imagine even going to jail in America? These man, brother, what is it they're putting in that water over there, you know? I don't know what it's all that GM, fully processed, yeah, filling up the cow and the chicken with a bag of steroids, yeah. And that's why they're so big, you know, because they're full of steroids. Hey, these men are just, hey, they're monsters. Monsters.
They coming out the yard, they shirts off. I'm like, please don't put me in a cell with him. I don't know this. I'm just like, please. But they wound up taking the cell hole, and the other younger guy that was with me, I'll never forget, as I covered my head with the pillow in that cell, because we shared the cell because we was both minors, I heard him cry as I was crying that night and wishing I was home and wishing I had another chance. And it just was different, but that started my road and my journey being in prison, and it got realer after that. It continued to get real. But what happened was, I was in the cell, it was hot. Summertime, no air conditioning, none of that. And I got up to splash my face, but when I got up to splash my face, it was like the devil was dancing in the cell because it was so hot in there. Walls were sweating. And I just looked in the mirror and I said, damn, you in here doing all this time for being somebody you not. The power of wanting to be down with a bunch of people that really don't care about you can destroy your life. It can mess your life up, even if it's not about crime. It could be about, I just want to be down with these people in college because they supposed to be the in crowd, or I just want to be down with these people because they do business, or I just want to be down. It could mess you up because what it do is it remove you from you. And now you got to be somebody else to be accepted by some other human beings that breathe like you, got 24 hours like you, that drink the same water you drink. You shitting me. So once I realized that, it was crazy.
I want to go back to that moment.
I think parents have a lot to do with shaping the identity of their children. And I feel like they don't take that job serious enough. You know? They leave their kids to the street. They feed them to the road, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why they end up down the wrong path. Because as a parent, you're not gonna encourage your kid to go down the wrong path or do the wrong thing, you know? But parents neglect that. They neglect that a lot of the time and just feed them to the street, man. That's my take on it anyway. Because I know that my kids can't turn out the way that I turned out. No way. You know what I'm saying? No way. No chance. Ain't gonna happen.
Where you're looking in the mirror and you're reflecting on the fact that you're doing all this time in prison for being someone you're not. And I'd love to have you talk to the person that's having this epiphany as they're listening to you. And they're thinking, well, I am where I am because I've been being someone I'm not.
You, I'm talking to you. You right there, you. You ain't tired yet. You out there being somebody that you're not. And guess what? You just keep losing. You don't feel right. You know you're not where you want to be because you don't feel right. But you choose to take this path because you wanted to be accepted by a bunch of people that don't even accept themselves. Because if they accepted themselves, they want to put pressure on you to be with them. Why do they need you to be around? Why do they need you to change who you are? Think about it. But think about this journey you're going on and say to yourself, hold up, this might not be for me. This might not be my ideas. This might not really be what I want to do. But the crowd is telling me I should do this. The crowd is telling me this is what's cool. The crowd is telling me this is what's accepted. When you gonna say fuck the crowd and start accepting you? When you gonna cut the fuck it button on and say fuck what they think? Huh? What you scared for? Huh? What you waiting for? Like, you think time is on your side? Time is not on your side. The only thing you got on your side is the decision to let go of everything that's not supportive to you. Everything that's forcing you to change who you are in order to be a part of this idea of what's right and what's wrong. Man, come on. It's bullshit. Let go. Get free. Be you. Love you. Respect yourself enough to choose you. Say yes to you and no to them. Oh, yeah, that's the new book coming out, too. My new book.
And buy it while you're at it.
Yes, buy it. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I love about you is that your story proves that all of the excuses you have, I don't have this, I don't have that. I mean, you're in a freaking prison cell, for God's sakes. You still have years on your sentence.
Yep.
And you made a decision that you were going to be you. And you had this incredible way that you thought about being in jail after that moment. Can you explain that breakthrough to us?
I used to tell,
You know, I remember my, and you know what, I was trying to remember it today, but the Reverend, when I was over, when the first jail I went to, the Reverend over there, he said something, and I'm pretty sure it was along the lines of, because you know, he was actually in prison many, many years ago in America, and he shared this story with us, and he was like, you know, just because you're in prison, it doesn't make you a prisoner. Do you know what I mean? And that stuck with me throughout my whole sentence. Like, just because I'm in here, it doesn't mean I'm a prisoner. I'm just in prison. And I think that helped me throughout my sentence, because it kept me. Because I think when you see yourself as a prisoner, that is you being trapped, and ain't nobody trapping me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I kept my, I don't know, I mentioned it in the, I think my first video, but I had stopped smoking and drinking 6 months before I went to jail. And believe it or not, if you want to drink liquor, you can drink liquor in jail. Yeah, you can, especially when you get to a decat, you can do what you want over there, you know. But I kept my discipline, man. I kept my discipline. But it was because of that saying that I am not, just because I'm in prison, I am not a prisoner. I am just in prison. And that was very helpful. But yeah.
people, I'm not in jail, I'm in Yale. I'm not in prison, I'm in Princeton. I'm not in the state pen, I'm in Penn State. Right?
What does that mean?
That means that I'm not just sitting around in here. I'm in here to educate myself. It's not their job to educate me, it's their job to house me. And at this time was...
Oh, I even put a video out on I even put a video out on TikTok. About being idle. 'Cause that's one thing that I ain't idle. I kept myself busy in there, man. Very busy. And that's what you have to do. Idle business don't work, man. I don't play with the idle business, though.
so crazy about it My mind was clicking so much because in the state prisons of Pennsylvania, you could buy a TV off commissary. Whereas though you get some certain TV channels, cable channels, whatever, you pay for it and all. My cellmates, they used to always say, why do you always turn the TV? Because I'm turning the TV all the time.
You mean flipping channels?
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to be like, Summer, come on. I was addicted to commercials. I was addicted to advertising and marketing. Because I always say, hold up, man. Big Mac never looked like that when I went in McDonald's. It's be sloppy. You don't be like that. Something ain't right. Then I realized, oh, they outsourced that to advertising agencies. I start learning about marketing. Damn, why is, when they got the car commercial, they got a black person doing it, Latino person doing it, Asian person based off of the channel. Oh, what is marketing? Oh, I ran into a book called Damn Good Advice by George Lois. Oh, I'm reading all these guerrilla marketing. I'm start learning about marketing. I start learning about advertisement. I'm learning about, oh, they paying all this money for that? So now I'm thinking more. I'm thinking, I'm just looking at that. And then one day, as I'm changing the channel, I come across this guy, right? One of my mentors, right? When I come across this skinny guy, man, skinny white guy, right? And I'm like, what's going on? I look, he here, the next day he here, he just always eating food. His name was Anthony Bourdain, my mentor. So when I see him, I'm like, hold up. Anthony Bourdain taught me in the cell that the world is your playground, go play. He taught me that the world is bigger than your neighborhood. He taught me that, Wallo, they're waiting for you. Go out there and connect with your people. It's people, places, and things that's waiting for your arrival with a sign on it.
He says that, America's so big. Some of these people, they never leave their state. Like, they can do everything. It's like they drive across the state and it's like they're in a different part of the world. It's crazy over there.
I seen Anthony Bourdain, parts unknown, no reservations, the layover. I was like, this guy used to get high. He got his life together. He was a cook in New York City. He had New York Times bestseller. He didn't let hard times beat him up. And his name, Anthony Bourdain. I watched every show religiously. I never stopped watching him because Anthony Bourdain, he gave me a passport while I was sitting in the cell. He used to talk to me through the TV show. And I was like, damn, because this is what happened. When you come from where I come from, if you're not willing to be exposed to other cultures and other ideas, sometimes you'll miss out on a mentor like Anthony Bourdain based upon his color of his skin, the different. We work so hard to find so many differences in our.
I agree with him on that one, You see this whole color barrier thing that we're holding up. You need to let go of that, That needs to get let go a long time, yeah? Because the person that's going to get you out of your rut is going to come in all shape and size, yeah? And colours different to yours. So you better open up your mind to that one day and stop being ignorant.
So when it's so easy to find something that connects us. He connected us because he was a teacher and he was able to say he connected with me because it was like, I didn't know that I was looking for him and I found him. In life, the greatest moments is going to happen when you're not prepared for them, when you're not looking for them. And Ant came through, I used to call him Ant. Ant came through and he just used to be like smoking a cigarette, drinking a hot.
Yeah, you just got to stay preparing yourself for that moment though. You don't know when it's going to come. And like I said, it could come in all shape, size and colour. But in the meantime, you got to prepare yourself for it. You got to be prepared for it to come. There are a lot of people missing opportunities out there because they're just not ready. I'm readying myself for my one, Readying. No games ain't getting played again.
See, eating the craziest stuff. It was like, Wallo, go out there and live. It's waiting for you. It was waiting for me. I ain't give up. I could have overdosed. I ain't give up in New York City. I ain't give up. And ain't give up. I ain't give up. And what he did, he showed me that I'm going to get out and I'm going to create what Anthony Bourdain created, but I'm going to show people that's where I'm from. So as I'm looking at Anthony, I'm reading books, stuff on George Lewis, I'm reading all this type of stuff, and I'm in there in this university mode. And that was the whole thing. I'm not in prison, I'm in Princeton. I felt as though because I felt as though the information that I could learn here, I could go out there and make as much money as somebody that's in Ivy League right now. But the only thing different, I had to pay with my life. I ain't gonna owe them no back money. I ain't gonna owe them no loans. I ain't gonna have to repay that. I just gotta get out here and perform. I gotta get out here and do my thing. See, you only get paid for your performance in this life. Performance is when you get up every day and you put your energy into something. You only get paid for your performance. So when if you got a 9 to 5, you getting paid for your performance. If you got a business, you getting paid for what you put into there. You gotta perform. And the more you perform, the better it get. If you're an athlete, you go out there and you score more and more points, you're gonna get bigger deal. So it's about you only get paid for your performance in life. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's waiting for you. Nobody ain't shit falling out the sky for you based off of, oh, I know you. You my friend. Oh, we went to the same college. Oh, we from the same neighborhood. Nobody give a fuck about that. Everybody trying.
Yes, facts. Big facts. No one don't care about you, man. No one don't care about you but you. And the faster you learn that, the quicker you will get to where you need to get to. Because a lot of the time, we're waiting around for a man to get us a bus here or get a bus there. You know what I'm saying? And nobody cares. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's just out for themselves. So, before it's too late and all the bandwagons are gone, just get to know that it's you one. You caring about you. You know what I'm saying? You are a one-man team. And you can take yourself to wherever it is you plan or want to go. You don't need no outside influence. But you got to get your head right. You got to get your mind right. You got to be consistent. You got to be disciplined.
To win. So perform and win. And if you don't do that, you're done.
You have also said that there are more people mentally incarcerated in the free world than in prison. Talk to me about that, because I love this university mode, and people use all kinds of freaking excuses to not improve themselves, to not educate themselves, to not learn new skills, to not seek out other mentors. And I think you're right that there's more people incarcerated mentally in the free world than in prison. But what does that mean to you, and how do you get yourself into university mode?
Well, because you know what's happened?
Tell me.
When people used to come to prison, they fresh off the streets, I used to interrogate them. I used to interrogate them about what life is on the streets in the free world, because I never wanted to be the person that was stuck. A lot of people, when your family member go to prison, they're stuck in the time that they was incarcerated. So I didn't want to be stuck there. So in order for me not to be stuck there, everybody that would come to prison, I would interrogate them. Sometime I would have a CO on the block, the ones that was, all right, I had them keep my cell as a transit cell. So somebody come and they not being in that for long, for like a week or two, then I get somebody else, because I used to love to stay up and just ask people questions about the free world. So this kid told me about Google in the yard. So we walk in the yard. He said, yeah, it's this thing called Google, man. I can find anything about anybody. I said, yeah, that's decent. He said, I can find stuff out about you. I looked at him, I said, man, you think I'm stupid? I've been in jail, but I'm not dumb. I ain't even on the planet Earth no more. How you gonna find? I'm in here. Nobody know nothing about me. So I typed my name in there, Wildest People. I'm like, all this stuff popped up. I dropped the phone. I'm like, damn, the feds on me, the CIA, they watching me. I didn't know what was going on, because I never seen nothing like this.
Yeah.
I've been in prison all this time. This 2013, 12, something like that. I don't even know. So I'm like, once I got that, I set up the social media, and that's where the 267 come from, Wallo267. 267 was my prison number, DG267. And when I go to set up the Instagram, somebody had Wallo, so I had to add the 267, even though that's the Philly zip code, but it also was my number. I mean, it's Philly area code. But whatever the case may be, when I went on social media, And I start seeing people in life. I'm like, hold up. Everybody was locked into an idea of what they think they should be based off of somebody else. And I just seen different cities. I just seen a bunch of people doing the same thing. And I'm like, it wasn't like that when I was growing up. Mel, if you going to school in Boston, you ain't know what they was doing in Duke. If you went to Boston College, you ain't know what they was doing in Duke. You ain't know what, because we didn't have no social media to connect it. So now we living in a world where everybody emulating everybody. Everybody got the same hairstyle. They wear the same clothes. They wear, nobody, like you got to think about it. Some of these big people, they would have never got this stuff. They would have never had this influence back in the day, because if you ain't get on
Oprah
or MTV, nobody knew about you.
Correct.
So now I'm like, hold up. Don't nobody got no independent thought no more. So I'm like, oh, there's more people out there in prison. It's gonna be easy out there. There's more people incarcerated than it is incarcerated, because everybody out there walking around with a cell around their brain.
And how would you describe that to somebody who doesn't realize that they're in a cell in their brain?
Because they're afraid. The reason I say they're in a cell, because they're afraid to go out there and do what they want to do. So they even in a cell based off, you're in a cell based off of worrying about people's opinions, worrying about how people think of you. So now you can't move. You can't move. You're in a cell when I'm just going to follow what they doing. I don't want to have my own thoughts. I'm a part of this group that I don't even know why I'm a part of this group, but I think it's okay to be a part of this group. And I might only be a part of this group because where I was raised, who my parents are, the influence they gave me. I don't even know why I'm here.
It's true.
You know how many people that just like, hold up, I'm a part of this, I'm a part of this. And they will argue with you about why you're so wrong about being a part of something. And you like, you can't even tell me why you're a part of what you arguing with somebody else and telling them that they're wrong and they're part of this over there. Think about that. People is just a part of something based because somebody told them to be a part of something, or just because their mom was a part of something, their dad was a part of something, or people in their community was a part of something. They don't even know why.
It's true. And then people get to a point in their life and exactly what you said happens. You start to say, I don't really like my life. I don't like how I feel. Why am I doing this? Why am I an accountant? How did I end up in jail? Well, like, why did I marry this person?
This is the issue. And I realized this is what happened.
Facts.
We don't value the most important thing in every human being life. We use it for the wrong things. We use it for vanity. We use it for the most important thing in your life. Will always tell you the truth. Even if you duck it, will always be real for you. Will always show you who you truly are, is the mirror. Not your friend, not somebody's show. The mirror would never lie to you. Because when you look in that mirror, you see who you is when nobody else is around, when nobody else is looking. When you get up out the bed and your hair not done, you not got that shave, your breath stinking or whatever it is, and you go to splash water on your face, even before that, you go to use the bathroom, and you walk by that mirror and you see yourself, you got all the answers there. You just keep running away from it. You're scared to be you. You're scared to be, the raw truth is there in that mirror. That's the raw truth. But you use it for vanity. And you know what's crazy about the mirror? A lot of times when you go to the mirror, a lot of y'all be getting pimped by people's future perceptions of you. Really be getting pimped. Because when you go to the mirror in the morning, you know what you use it for? You use it for dumb stuff. You go to the mirror, especially if you got the big mirror in your living room or where you getting dressed at, you put all your stuff when you're looking at it, and you say to yourself, oh, I don't like this. It's not that you don't like this. You don't think the people at work is going to like it. You don't think the place that you're going to is going to like it. The wedding, the party, whatever. You don't think, it's not even about you no more. See, you're using the mirror in the wrong way. You're supposed to be using the mirror to empower yourself and have real conversations with yourself and really look at who you truly are.
Very true. Very true.
But you don't use the mirror for
Yeah. You know, I want to fast forward it. There's an area in here that I wanted to touch on quickly. It's quite a long It's quite a long pod.
Your fucking way.
Can you please tell that to the person
Nobody
listening?
is going to get in your fucking way but you. Because what happened is, this how it be. You be going to do your thing, right? You be going to do your thing, and this what happened. You jump right in front of yourself and say, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't gonna be great. No, you can't do it. You your biggest fucking hater. You always talk yourself out of ideas. Soon as you say, here it is, I put the idea together, I'm ready to do it. No, you're not. Then you sit back down.
I'm sorry. It's so fucking true.
You sit back down. You do all this research. Listen, we walking around with computers in our pockets. When I grew up, I didn't know nobody in the neighborhood that had a fucking computer, man. You only see that when you go downtown and you go into one of them buildings, and the computer was big as this table back then. You walking around with a computer in your pocket? You mean to tell me you could ask a phone anything? Back in the day, we had to go to a library to figure out something. And some books that first we had to find a book of the information we was looking for and hope they told us what we was looking for. Nobody's going to stop you but you. Now let me ask you a question. When is you going to stop being the biggest enemy in your life? You're your biggest enemy. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to stop you. So what they're going to talk about you? So what they're going to laugh at you? What does that mean? Haters is your marketing team. Let them work. Haters is your marketing team. Let them work. They tell people about you. You know how many haters that get you followers? From laughing at you or sending your stuff around to their friends. Look at this clown. Look at this. They did that to me. They laughed at me. So what? They was laughing at me because I was different. I was laughing at them because they all the same. What makes you cool? Look at it. Look at what's going on. The smart, fearless people is out here destroying shit. The people that say, I'm gonna sit here, I don't care, I'm gonna stay on this, I'm gonna build my app, they running stuff. When you gonna start running your life? Because you don't even run your life.
You know what came to mind as you were saying that is that here you.
When are you going to start to run your life? You know what? January is a good time to ask yourself that question. You know? Good time of the year to ask yourself that question. Because if you start running it now, you've got 11 more months to make a significant change before 2027 hits. This year seems like it's the year of change, man. I ain't gonna lie. This year seems like the year of change. There's a lot going on this year. A lot of people want to change this year. A lot of people are stepping up to the plate, stepping out of their comfort zones. I'm one of them, man. This ain't me. This camera thing is not me. The internet was not me. But I made the decision that, you know what, I got a story to tell, man. And I feel like coming from where I've come from, going through what I've gone through, what I would really like to do, I'd like to change some lives. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I really want to do. That's why I stepped into this space. Obviously, it's also to better my life and to, go down a different road. But, I've always been one that has wanted to help people. So this is my chance to give back. By giving the people that need it, my story. My ups, my downs, my trials, my tribulations. Give it to them. And if they're anything like me, and they don't want the outcomes that I've had up until now, then change it. Let me give you my story. And if it's similar to yours, then You know where it's going to end up. You know where you're going to end up. There's only one place, two places, death or jail. You know what I mean? And by the grace of God, it was jail for me, which I, believe it or not, I'm thankful for, because I got kids. I can't be dropping out right now on them. You know? It's a lot to think about 2026, man. This is quite a long podcast, but I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments, man, of your ambitions for 2026, man. And if you are going to step out of that comfort zone, are you going to step out of that comfort zone? Because as Wallo said, there's nobody stopping you but you. You are the only person in your way. Get out your way, man. Get out your way. Make a move. That comfort zone thing is dead. There's no progression in the comfort zone. It's only when you get out of it. My people, good evening and good night, yeah?